Don't listen to my fantasticalness.
Hey everybody, it is Flaming Chipmunk, or Chip, or LMA in-game, or Chipaku in-game, or you can call me what you want, but don't call me late for dinner. I've been getting a lot of questions in-game about weapons material. Where do I get it? How do I make it? What do I do with it? I decided to make this little video, help explain some of that. We're going to go over the weapons, and we're going to go over some tools in the game. And I hope that this helps you. Why don't we just get started right off the bat? When you made your teepee, when you started your homestead, you created one of these, which is a work table. If you go into your work table, you are going to see my drawing table pack. You're going to want to make that. It's going to take some lumber and some paper. You're going to put that together. You're going to grab that kit. You're going to go and you are going to place it. And it looks like this. It is an awesome little drafting table. And when you open it up, you will find every single crafting item that you will need for your personal homestead. Now, these are for your personal homestead. These are not for guild placement, and no one can access them except for you. So we've got the lumber mill set, and you can make the logging axe, planks, and lumber with it. The well set, you're going to need one of those right off the bat. It makes water, and water is essential for cooking. You have the carpenter shop set where you can make molds and cart keys. Those are really important. The mining camp set, that is where you process metal and you can make your picks. The forge set, which is also known as an anvil, and that's for blacksmithing and all of your weaponry. The trough set, that's for ranching, and that's for making hay and feed and things to take care of your animals. Your tailor set, that's all about your armor. You can craft cloth, leather, and metal armor in this crafting bench. Kitchen pack, self-explanatory, is for cooking. And my tinker shop set, that is for making things like hilts, lockpicks, glue, and your bags, like your backpack and your little fanny packs, your bum bags. So why don't we go back inside? We'll go to the mining camp, and I will show you guys how to get started. So when you are a grade 1 or a level 1 user up to character level 10, you're going to be using tin. When you are character level 10 to 20, you're going to be using copper. That's G2 and G3. Level 20 to level 35 is 35, and then 40 is grade 4 and 5, which is iron, and then grade 6 and 7 is mithril. And we're going to throw some mithril in here, and let's see what happens. Oh, we've got 3 separate things here that we can make. But what we're going to focus on right now is the metal pole. And I want to show you what happens when you craft this. It's pretty interesting if you don't know this already. So we've got a metal pole. It's an ingot for weapons. And if you look, it's a grade 7, because I used grade 7 material. But the material type is weapons material. Ta-da! There's weapons material. They don't explain it in this tutorial, but I got your back. You're going to use weapons material for all of your tool and weapon crafting. Well, not all of your tools, but for your pickaxe, for your logging axe, and for every single weapon that you're going to craft, you are going to need to make these weapon ingots, your weapons material. So why don't we throw this in here and let's make a pickaxe. You're going to need wood and you're going to need leather. Now, getting a bonus on these is just a roll of the dice. You have to pray to the RNGesus and maybe he'll give you something good. But I didn't get that this time. None of the crafting is skill based this time around. So old players that are kind of like, oh, what happened to my skills? Yeah, they don't really matter. The only skills that really matter right now are mining and logging, so you can farm and process materials. They're working on ranching, and ranching does have some specifics that relate to your skill level, but I can talk about that in another video. Now, this over here is your logging table, and logging axe, lumber, and plank. Now, lumber and plank are also considered lumber and can be used in this recipe in a pinch, but they're more expensive and I don't suggest it. So let's make a logging axe. Let's pray to the RN Jesus. And I got nothing. I got bupkis, and my inventory is really full. So these are your two main tools, the pickaxe and the logging axe. Now, there are a couple of other tools that you can make that are very important to the game as well. One of them is a small cart key. A cart key you can deploy a cart key, hold it in your hand, deploy it, and it allows you to carry, it allows you to carry up to 3 items at a time across long distances. So that'll be fun, yeah? Let's make one real quick. When I make mine, I use tin because tin is a super easy metal to farm. It's cheap. You're not going to really use it for anything else. And, you know, it saves your other materials. You'll get an 11 durability off of it, which isn't so bad. I just have to find where I put it. Here we go. We're just going to craft this, and I'll actually deploy it, and I'll show you how it works. I should have one in my inventory. I normally carry one. She's not happy. I don't have any space in my inventory. My goodness. What a load of crap I've got. So let's take this outside and let's see how it works really quickly. You're going to put it in your hotbar, right? You're going to put it in your hand. You're going to click and slide to the left. And watch, here's the action. And here's what happens. There's my cart right there. And like I said, you can carry up to 3 items in this. You can sprint with it. And if you have a mount, like let's say you have one of the cow mounts or you have a Zaka, that will disappear. You're only able to deploy one item like this, one quote-unquote transportation item at a time. Something else that you're going to want to make will be a shovel. Shovels are good for digging dirt and sand, and you can also get shells, which are considered bones, and you can get worms that you can use for bait. Now, again, you're going to go through a lot of shovels in this game, so making anything other than, you know, what is this? This is a G5. That's more than enough for a shovel, honestly. The next thing I want to cover really quickly are the weapons. Now, remember I said before that you need to make the forge set. Well, the forge set, once it's placed and built, comes out to be a small anvil. So we're going to open that up, and I'm going to want to make a one-handed hammer. So what do we need for a one-handed hammer? We need weapons material, we need molds, and we need hilts. So we're going to go back inside. I'm going to stop over here at the carpentry bench. And what do we need for that? We need lumber and we need dirt. So we're going to click on that. Now you can mass produce things by shift right or shift left clicking. So we've got that. And now we're going to go over to our tinkering bench. And we need to make hilts. And hilts need leather and lumber. Look at that, I've got it in there already. Go figure. So each recipe, 2 leather and 1 wood will give you 2 hilts. You're going to take this back out to the anvil. And we're going to make a hammer. Now, Chip, how come you're using a hammer? Well, I found that the hammers have the most amount of durability out of the one-handed weapons. Now, the sword, or no, the hammer has the most damage out of the one-handed weapons. The sword has the largest amount of durability. The axe falls somewhere in between, and I don't really mess around with the axe too much. Since the last map, they have nerfed the special abilities. The hammer used to give you a defense down, the axe used to give you a super crit, and the sword used to give you a block effect, and that worked on the single and the two-handed weapons. Since the introduction of the new crafting system and the lack of PvP in the game right now, that's been nerfed. It doesn't exist anymore. The dagger, it used to have a bleed effect, and while I haven't tested it, I was never really a dagger user anyway because it's not dual-handed. And the strike range is so short. Now, the spear, I don't use the spear either. The spear has a really weird attack radius to it. The only time that you can actually inflict any damage on a player or a mob that you're attacking is at the end of the spear, and most of the conflict takes place in between the end of the spear and you. So hitting somebody with that spear is really difficult. When a spear is good is when you have somebody who has a shield and you can kind of poke at somebody from back behind another player's shield. Why don't you use two-handed, Chip? Well, on the last map, they actually nerfed the swing speed, and they nerfed the power strike speed. So when you are fighting somebody and they've got a one-handed weapon, they're going to get 2 to 3, 4 hits maybe in on you, either while you're preparing to swing your weapon or while you are getting ready to set a power strike, which power strike is shift on that. When those are effective is when you're working in tandem with somebody who has a shield, and they can deploy their stun with the shield, and then you can come in with a power strike. The power strikes are devastating, and if you can land one, you are almost guaranteed to win, and your opponent's just going to fall to the ground. Two-handeds are a lot of fun, but they take a lot of practice. For what I do, I'm mostly out farming and collecting items right now. Collecting leather, collecting feathers, killing mobs, things like that. So I use a hammer because it does have such a high amount of damage. And I think that pretty much covers it. We did the axe, we did the pickaxe, we did the logging axe, we did the shovel, we did the cart key. The cart key is really important. You're going to want to make one of those right off the bat. And we covered weapons. I hope that this was helpful. If you have any other questions or you want to see another video on something, just leave a comment in the general discussion in the Discord, or leave your questions in the Just Tips area in the Discord that Sean created. I hope that you're enjoying the game. I really do. This is my favorite game. And I am in the Guild Escuro on the North American server, and I'm in the Bastards of Freedom faction. I'd be more than happy you guys stop by, say hi, how you doing, as long as you're in my faction, because red is dead. Stop by and say hi. And that's it. Have a great afternoon, have a great morning, have a great evening, whatever it is for you, and I really hope to see you in game. Ciao.
Don't be jealous of my fantasticalness.